Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Ravens YouTube channel and podcast, Talking Ravens all day, every day, with your host, Justin P., and my MVP, billion-dollar co-host, Miss Shannon Fitch. This is episode 171 for the audio version. I'm sorry, for the YouTube version. Ugh. The audio version, season 3, episode 9. The links for that is right there below underneath the description. Right underneath for that is myself, Shannon, and Dave's social media platforms. Like I say, I have all platforms. Shannon has Facebook, IG, Twitter. David, Facebook and Instagram. So, like I said, if it's anything Raven related, you feel like we're not covering or not talking about it enough, let us know. Like I said, we're gonna be, do our best to add it in one of our shows because we love getting feedback from viewers that y'all make the show. Shannon has some great, I say like, subscribe, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. Shannon has some great topics as always, and it's a short week. That's why we, give you a recap on a Monday, and then tomorrow I'll be back on here. Might have somebody on with me if everything go according to plan. But without further ado, I'm hand it over to Miss Shannon.
All right, Justin. So we talked about whether or not this would be a trap game last week, and Ravens made it out of that trap. So give me your good, bad, and ugly in Week 12.
Oh man, I was there front and center as I am all the home games, but good defense. Like I said, it's like a tale of two seasons with this team. The defense played like hot garbage the first half. Offense is lighting it up. Now the defense playing great offense. I ain't gonna say playing hot garbage, but they ain't playing up the regular standards because they still are putting up at least 20 plus points. So that's still fairly decent. But the defense, like I said, because I've been critical of them this year too. You have as well, but mainly me. I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn, like, this, and we turned it around again. So so far, a lot of people say we didn't play that many different, good quarterbacks outside the Rams and Bears. You only can play who's on your schedule. So I'd rather them turning around now than be getting worse. So the defense as a whole, man. Like they looked at me. Like I said, Jets are NFL teams, so you're not going to hold them to 0-0-0. This doesn't work like
Mm-hmm.
that. Shout out to Tyrod. He had a fairly decent game. Brees Hall was all over the place, but we still was able to only allow 10 points, which was great. So yeah, and they only given up I think like 4 or 5 touchdowns in the last 5 games. So yeah, like I said, shout out to them, man. Like I said, they have been the best. They have been the best unit so far since the bye week. Oh man, gotta stop shooting ourselves in the foot in the red zone because, like I said on Twitter, this should have been a 31-10 game. Red zone woes continuing to bite us in the butt, and it's like we have to fix it. That's why my three keys to victory is always the same, like I told you, because you score more touchdowns and field goals this game. This is a complete blowout. We left 8 points on the carpet. Andrews, you got to hold on to the ball. And then, like I said, we got to block better. And like I said, I'm starting a campaign, man. Mike got put Pat Ricard at guard. I mean, shit. We might got to go to the, he's still 310 pounds, so he's NFL size guard. He's actually bigger than what Yonder was. Yonder, the heaviest Yonder ever been was like 308. So, we might got to, that might, I'm just saying, boss, you still got, you got a lifeline with that. Use it. Or at least use some variations of it. We might gotta add them up there, do something, because like I said, it's getting bad. Penalties, missed tackles. Louis Gilman is as much as we praise him, he has to tackle better. He has to tackle better. I'm giving him his props since he came here. He helped freed up Cal, all that good stuff like that. But he keep missing too many tackles for me. Like I said, Brees Hall was a great score, and like I said, luckily for Marlon, we punched it out. But if he makes the tackle like he supposed to, we're not even in that position. Ugly, this offensive line, mainly the interior guys. The tackles played pretty well, all things considered. And they ain't giving no sacks, no pressures like that. But the guards, man, it's like we just be singing the same thing every week. And like I know everybody's saying if he ain't make a change, then this person, all that, it must be worse. All that. You okay, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it. Like yeah, but I just think Harbaugh being stubborn, in my opinion. I don't think it's because the guys behind him, but I just think he's stubborn. He's just dying on that violated hill. I guess because this is last year in his contract, he's trying to help him out a little bit. I don't know, but you ain't really telling me with a straight face, man. Cleveland's just that terrible. And we got film on him for previous games. He played in full, and he, like I said, outside that going against one of the best and best ever, Aaron Donald, he's held his own. And then so we this. I mean, boy, he's like I said, anytime you make it on Pat McAfee show and they point out how bad you play, that's a problem. Because I don't know how many Ravens games Pat McAfee watched, but if that caught his attention, like come on now, like all right, come on, Warhop, he's terrible too. I'm gonna give him more blame than anybody because you're the old line coach. You can't coach these guys up. Joe D. Alexander's coach these guys up best of his ability. You mean tell me you can't piggyback off that? So yeah, he is terrible. So yeah, that's my good bet.
Okay. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
My good is the defense. I feel like the defense played good again this week. You talk about the missed tackles and things like that, and that's true. Holding another team to under, they had 10 points. It's not easy to do that in an NFL period. So I give them their props. Special teams. I think special teams, they had a bounce back
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah.
Considering how they were last week. Excuse me. Bad. I have third down efficiency. I feel like we
Yes.
could have been a lot better on third down. That was kind of disappointing on top of the other issues that we have, but also I'll say offensive execution. That could have been better. We talk about feeling like Lamar is hurt, so in that case I feel like some of the guys around him got to step their game up to help him out a little bit, so the execution can be better. And ugly red zone offense. I believe we had 5 chances down there and we only scored twice. That's not good.
No.
Not when you have a quarterback the caliber of Lamar and the offense that we know we can have and we've had. Like that's horrible. So it's getting uglier and uglier because that's something that's not getting better. And they talked about that, correcting that over this past week. I didn't see any improvements to me in that
You're not.
area.
You might not until two people off that line come off. To be truthful with you, you might see a tad bit like more improvement from the scales, but from right there, it's like this is one of them things. Steve Bashadi gonna have to come say something. He has to. You have to take. You're going to take at least a few seconds out of his busy day to come address that because it's like you're going to get somebody hurt, man. Seriously.
All right. So speaking of Harbs, what grade did you give John Harbaugh in this game?
And B plus. Because once again, you keep trotting them guys up there, and it's like I was right in the end zone, so I see everything. I was talking to the lady. She's probably every bit of 75 years. She said he is so slow and he's not physical.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh shit, okay. I've been saying that all year. Like even on when he pull, even when he get decent blocks, he not fin. You 6'8" and 380 pounds. You're not. He should have knocked Michael. I don't know if you saw when he pulled and got Michael Clemens and Derrick Henry got to run around the corner. He got tackled though, like a two. He should have knocked him off his out his cleats. He was 380 pounds. Like you, come on, like Hobbs got to get up the fact that he looked the part. He looked the part. That's it. He looks the part. He looked like Tarzan, play like Jane. Same with
Mm.
Voorhees. It's like so. It's like you keep down on that hill and it's not good, and I think it's going to cost us at the wrong time, and that's what keep infuriating me with him. And this is why people be trying to say it might be time for him to go when he be stuck in his little ways. But B plus, because like I say, just for that alone, because like you can't just because we winning games, that don't mean all is good. That's complacency.
I give John Harbaugh a B. It wasn't anything that was like earth-shatteringly wrong. Things can be better. And as a head coach, he got to take the blame for what can be better. So I give him a B. What grade did you give Todd Monken?
B. Like I said, yes, some of his calls can be better, but it sucks when you can't run simple dives because the two guards, as I keep going back to, I know I sound like I know I sound like a tape recorder, which is fine. All right, because we seen when he had capable linemen in there, he puts up points. We seen it. We have seen it. Or when they played with much confidence, we've seen it. Like I said, yes, Lamar injuries kind of sort of playing into that, but even still, we should be able to push forward and get 1 yard running straight up the gut with. a 310 pound back, a fullback, and a 260 pound running back. We shouldn't have to be fighting the fourth down to score. So, like I said, I'll give him a B. He could definitely don't switch shit up, like getting Zay involved in red zone more, run him more like drag routes or something. Get likely in the corner. It's little things he can do. But overall, like I said, we getting down there. It's just when it comes down, it's how much you want it up front. So I give him a B.
I give him a C. Because some of the issues in the red zone to me is the plays that are called, and some of the plays that are called are probably called because of the personnel. Um, but yeah, I I feel like it could have been better. Some things could have been better. So I give him a C.
I mean, he can't call nothing if them two fat fuckers ain't blowing nobody with the ball. I give you, I like I just said, definitely he can do some. He can definitely make adjustments in this. So I agree with that. But anytime if we can't run a halfback dive and can't punch it in right away, that's a problem. That's not on Todd Monken. That's one of them two chump ass motherfuckers that got.
And what grade did you give Zach Orr?
Get A+, man. Like I said, and I'm critical of him. Like A+. I just getting tired of this turnaround bullshit. That shit got to year three. That shit got to be out the window. Hit the ground running. No matter what's going on, hit the ground running. Because now, I don't know if they doing this so he won't get fired, so he won't get snatched. I don't know what the case is, but we got this waiting to the second half of the schedule. That this bullshit got to stop. But A+ though.
I give him an A. Another great game by the defense. I think this week, this Thursday, will be a good test for them, just to see where they are. Based on the quarterback competition. But it was another good game. It's things that the players can clean up and things they can do better. But overall, I think the defense played a really good game, and it starts with him. So I give him an A.
I'm just curious why they didn't get an A+. I just want to hear your little critiques on this.
No, because because like you said, they missed some tackles and things they can do better.
Yeah,
I feel like Brees Hall, he had his way. He didn't have his way in the rushing game, but he had his way in the passing game. I mean, he was
yeah.
effective in the game. So they weren't perfect, but they've been playing well. So I give them an A.
But me, I ain't gonna hold that on Zach. Oh, he can't go up there and tackle for them. As much as
Mm-mm.
I've been on,
No,
he can't go up there. That's more. I get what you're saying because the defensive coordinator, but that's on them guys because he had them in position. So that's why I'm not gonna penalize him for that.
no. I mean, A pluses ain't a given. The A is the A plus. You probably done something above and beyond. Like I thought it was a good game, like it's been. I mean, the Jets' offense is not one. It was like going against the Browns. It wasn't like I went into it thinking they were gonna. What the Jets did is what I thought. I said
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor was going to be able to get the ball down the field. Like they played well. I mean, it wasn't. A is not bad. Like that was still
No, I know, no, it's
a
not
good
bad.
game.
I just was curious. That's all.
And what grade did you give Lamar?
See, like I said, right now he's just been a game manager until he's a fully healthy. So yeah, like I said, he may have those games where he go back to throwing for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. But right now, like I said, he's just doing what he got to do. Like I said, he's coming back because if he don't play and try to get 100%, then his character and toughness will get questioned. So, and plus him at 65, 70 is better than both the quarterbacks at 100. So I'll give him a C. I'll give him a C. And he's not even tripping off the numbers. He said, as long as we win, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I give him a C too. He didn't. He's not playing like Lamar. We talked about that last week. But he didn't do anything that really cost us the game. So, I hope that he gets better. I just saw that he has a toe injury now. You know, I said it last week. Like it's week after week is something different, and that's concerning to me.
No, it should be.
But I give him a C.
Like I said, hopefully the head coach finally like, oh shit, let me go ahead and make some changes so my quarterback don't be in a body cast by week 18.
Yeah. What grade did you give the running backs?
B, like I said, what the yards per carry not really gonna show up, but they grinded it out and they had good runs at times. Jets are still a okay defense for the most part. Ireland's a defensive minded coach. I'm sure that was a big emphasis. And Brandon Stevens even said it, like take away the run game, like I said. But we still got enough yards and enough decent runs to keep it rolling. Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns, so
Hmm.
B.
Yeah, I give him a B as well. I mean, the two touchdowns alone, puts you up there. collectively, it wasn't even 100 rushing yards combined, but they didn't give up on it. They kept going. So I'll give them a B.
Yeah, it was a grinded out type of game.
Hmm. And the Jets are one of the better teams at stopping the runs. I mean, that's something that
Yeah, yeah,
they've been known to
they
do.
still look good.
So
Them and the Browns, yeah, they records suck, but they still defensively rank up there amongst the best.
yeah. What grade did you give the offensive line?
Shit. Whew. I'm gonna try to be as nice as I can. C plus. That's the best it's gonna get. That's only because Ronnie and Roger played pretty good against some two good edge rushers. Lindy
Hmm.
had the holding call, but other than that, he played fairly well. But like I said, the culprits are the left and the right guard. And I'm gonna just keep saying it to my tongue, till I get blue in the face.
Yeah, I give them a C. Um, we know what the issues are on offensive line. I think that what was more interesting to me was the actives for this game because Emery and, if I'm not mistaken, Ben Cleveland, they weren't listed on an inactive list. Like they were active, they just
Nah,
didn't get in.
Emery shooted up. You know, with that Ben Cleveland's in street code. I don't know what
Was
was
he?
that
Okay, I
about.
thought I
Yeah,
didn't see. I didn't. See,
He
okay, I
was
didn't
because
see.
when
I
he did
thought
the
I didn't see
national,
his name on the thing.
yeah, I don't know if they showed him, but he definitely was like.
But
Now I
go
said when they
ahead.
definitely was doing the national anthem, he was in his hoodie and sweatpants.
That's good. So Emery being active lets me know that they might think that he's closer than he was before.
Yeah,
But even with that, I'm tapering my expectations because it'll still be like he's a rookie.
yeah, he is.
So, it is what it is. But I get him a C.
I think it's a low key as a red shirt. I think it's low key a red shirt for next year. He's gonna let him play a little bit, get him acclimated. I think next year he's gonna be that. He's gonna be starting on one of them guard spots.
Yeah. What grade did you give the wide receivers and tight ends?
B considered all things considered with the opportunities they all made the best of it. Mark Andrews had his little drop. Other than that, they made the plays when they needed to. Like I said, so B just for that alone.
I give him a. I was going back and forth between this. Um,
I know they didn't put up the
I'll give.
gaudy numbers.
It ain't even the numbers. I'll give him. I'll give him a B. I mean, it's really no.
Yeah,
Their execution could be better, but
for sure, for sure, for sure. They kept
yeah,
drives
I
alive.
don't know. I don't. It,
That's what kept my fact. They kept drives alive.
yeah, yeah. I'll give him a B. What grade did you give the defensive line?
They get an A. Supposed to get an A only because Brees got us a few times with a couple little runs off of not just wrapping up and stuff like that. But overall, like I said, it pushed the pocket. We got Tyrod a few times. So A.
I give them a B. I think that they did well with pressure. Getting like you said, pushing the pocket. Um, they did good with Brees Holmes rushing the ball for the
Brees
most.
Hall.
I'm sorry, Brees Holmes. They did
You
well
talking
with
about
him.
Brees Halls, yeah.
They did well with him for the most part, but
Yeah,
I give them a B. I mean, it's still things they could have been. What I would like to see better from a defensive line, like they've had other games where I was like, "Whoa, they were dominant," but
for sure, for
wasn't a
sure.
wasn't a bad game, so I give them a B.
Travis Jones, John Jenkins, he's starting to wear down. That was my biggest factor, and I started saying it yesterday. You might have said it too. Actually, man, Steve, he's 36, but he's 37. You gotta start getting him up. Koye, Feet Peebles, even if it's just for a few plays, we gotta get him off the field. Playing too many snaps.
Hmm. What grade did you give the linebackers?
B, because Trayvon Jones and Mike Green was getting there, but we got Roquan. Them guys gotta stop missing tackles on running backs on the flat. We have to, because that's going to kill us in the playoffs. Playoffs is, you got to damn near be flawless.
Hmm.
And I guess, like I said, against the more better teams, it's going to hurt us. So, like I said, just off of that, him and Teddy was. That's why Bruce Hall was killing one of them catches because they kept missing him. And so B for that.
I give him a B as well for the same reasons. I think Roquan was up there in tackles, but guys was getting back there in the second level, and it was what it was.
The
But
thing,
there
the
was
thing with
some.
that, I'm sorry, Shem, my bad. So the thing with that, his tackles damn near all of them was up the field. None of them was behind the
Well,
line
that's
of
not that.
scrimmage.
That's what I was gonna say. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't. It wasn't. It was back there. So. I get him a B. I mean, the pass rush was better. It could still be better. But
Hmm.
I give him a B. What grade did you give the DBs?
Hey, yeah, hey, yeah. I know the magic scored the little touchdown, whatever. Who cares? But overall, the whole the 10 and 300 yards passing, man. And you got an interception. Hey,
Yep, and I gave him an A minus, but the A minus is only for that touchdown.
okay,
Like I said, they've been good. They've been really good in recent weeks. And they weren't bad yesterday. But that's just me grading it because
that's it.
you know you could have. A lot of that just goes back to technique and things they can do better. But it was really a good game. Nate Wiggins could have had an interception, just went right through his
Yeah,
hands.
yeah,
We
yeah,
had one
yeah.
interception. Marlowe with the big forced fumble, that could have changed the game.
And then
So
a Lloyd Gilman ain't helped their grade either, missing tackles.
yeah, though they had a good day though.
Yeah.
Then last but not least, special teams. What grade did you give special teams?
Gotta give him a B plus. Stout booted that motherfucker. CJ Tampa, man. He played a hell of a game overall, but he made like 3, 4 straight tackles on special teams. Him and Keandre Jackson. That's why I'm campaigning for both of them to get a little bit more snaps if Cal can't play, because they both earning it. And then CJ Tampa gets a big pick. I know Tyrod threw it up because it was in the game still he caught it. So yeah, special teams get a B plus. And like I said, and Luke made all his field goals.
Yeah, I give them an A. For everything you just said, we won them last week for how they played, but I feel like this week they cleaned it up and turned it around. So I give them an A. And game ball or game balls. Who are you giving a game ball to?
I feel Derrick Henry because those 2 touchdowns were big. Tyler Luke, T.J. Tampa, Tremont Jones, and Marlon Humphrey.
um, I'm giving a game ball to Marlon Humphrey. Because I feel like he was just out last week because he just had surgery on his hand and a comeback. And I mean, if you think about it, it could have been a different game if that touchdown was scored. So to me, he saved the game in that moment. So for that reason, I'm gonna give him a game ball. All right, so moving on to the topics. Kyle Hamilton left the game with an injury. Seemed like he always have a little stinger or something every week, but he always
How
comes back out.
how we playing him? So it's gonna take a little toll on his body.
Yeah. So do you think we should sit him for Thursday night football?
Absolutely. Short week, he too important. I get Joe Burrows coming back and all that, but Joe Burrows like 1-9 against us when Lamar's playing, and when we're fully healthy. You know, I'm telling you, beating this when we beat like really beat up the hell. To be truthful with you, even in the playoffs, like we were still limping. We had Tyrod Taylor. That's the only time he could beat us, and he's been out for what 2 months. Jamal Chase is coming off of suspension. OT Higgins on the other side, so we could bracket a little bit. So yeah, sit him. Nah, 'cause he's just too important, man. Sit him. Nah, yeah, sit him. Like I said, you got TJ Tampa, you can slide. You still got Lloyd Gilman. You still got, like I said, Keandre Jackson. You go get him in there a few snaps. But because his size, he only like an inch shorter than Carl, like 2 inches shorter than Carl. He like a similar build, so you can at least use him to somewhat make up what you lose in Kyle with that frame. Of course, ain't gonna be as good, but just that body presence to be put out there, at least
Hmm.
soften up the blow we're losing. We ain't gonna replace them, but at least minimize it. But either still, we should be good. We should be able to beat them about the bank, beat the Bengals about him. They're 3-8 football team. Like I said, get it. They Jamal Chase has had our number yards and stuff wise, but we should beat them about Callahan. So I'm just saying, let them sit because we need them for the long run. We got Pittsburgh coming in 10 days. We're gonna need them for that. That's always a rock 'em, sock 'em physical game, either whether we win or lose. Like that's gonna be physical. We're gonna need them for that. Let them get that 10-day rest. Like I said, slide tap out there, Keandre Jackson, Keon Martin, who mix and match it a little bit. Play your guys. Bring up somebody from practice squad if you got to. Like whatever. But
Hmm.
yeah, like, but Cal should not be playing, man, because we gotta think about it. Like we still got five. Like they still got 5 games, and plus the playoffs. Don't need him having any lingering injury just to beat a 3-8 football team because their quarterback is back.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to make him play or have him play on such a short week when this is an important stretch coming up. Period. These next couple of weeks, is going to probably determine the season. Going against the Bengals and the Steelers in what 3 weeks back to back. Um,
Yeah,
so that's tough. But I'll say sit him. I don't. I think that we've talked about the DBs being one of the deepest groups that we have, and you can bring anybody in and mix and match and have them play. No, they're not going to be Kyle Hamilton, but we need him. Past Thursday. So let him get a break in this game. Get 10 days off. You might feel a little bit better for the Steelers game. But like I said, every time I see him play, it seems like he always has some sort of like I'd be worried, like, oh my goodness, he's hurt, and then he's
yeah,
right back into the game. So I just say sit him, like just let him get some time off and be ready for the Steelers. And we, what is it? It'll be 14 by then. But yeah,
yeah,
get ready for the Steelers at that point.
yeah. Because like I said, we use him a lot now. Like this year, the last year the big turnaround was him going back. Now he's in the line of scrimmage now. So now he's beating and banging like a linebacker. So now, yeah, he's gonna definitely absorb more punishment. So yeah, let him chill, man. Jamal Chase, like we can bracket him, and then if we rush the passer better, I ain't gotta worry about that too much. Get Joe Burrow off his ass. I mean, off his spot. He been out for 2 months. Like Draymond Green, Mike Green, all them guys. And then now, if you sit Cal, you can activate a guy like Carl Lawson, let him get his reps in, because then I'm sure he's gonna want to sack his former teammate at least once. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So it's like, do stuff like that, give other guys the opportunity to play. 'Cause you never know what somebody's gonna be called upon. Everybody's one play away from playing. As a high school, all the coach I played with forever always used to tell everybody, you only one play away from playing. So so getting whoever you use some more playing experience going to help us a lot. Like I said, we should beat the 3-8 Bengals without Kyle. Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco, don't matter.
Hmm. All right. The next topic. We kind of was talking about this when we are talking about the coaches and Harbaugh and everybody else, but who do you blame for the red zone issues offensively?
Coaching wise or player wise, we just whatever, just mixture.
In general, whoever you blame for it.
I gotta start with the offensive line first, because yes, the play calls can be better for sure. But like Wise Man once said, we can run peanut butter and jelly 4 straight times. If we block and do what we supposed to do, it should work. Like when you go down there, it's all about who won it more. Feel me? Who won it more? Especially in the 5 yard line, and all that. That's when like you're not gonna run trick plays on the 5 yard line a lot of times. Like I've yet to see people run triple reverses to score on the 5 yard line. Like, you get where I'm going with that. That comes down to who won
Hmm.
it more, who got more, who got more stones. That starts with the guys up front, primarily inside. Once again, you
Hmm.
blow your guy off the ball, Derrick Henry go like I don't like how Pat Ricard did on fourth. Derrick Henry gonna walk in every time just like that.
Hmm.
He can't break 11 tackles. As good as he is, same with Lamar, he can't break 11 tackles. Blocking up front first. That's numero uno. Like I said, yes. Then I'll go with Todd Monken. Some of the designs could be a little better. But when you get in the red zone, there's only so much you can do for scheme wise, because it shortens. The field shortens. It's a small window. Yeah, he could probably run Zay on crosses, run some crossing routes, had the defenders like bump into each other so somebody could be open. We could do stuff like that, or have likely into the corner end zone like we used to do. Have Andrews run this little curl routes. It's little like schematic thing we could do, but like I said, but 9 out of 10 when you get down there, it's about who won it more. Why you think
Hmm.
every time Philly get in the red zone, they damn near score because they want it more. Tush push or not, they want it every time. You're not stopping them. So I'll go O line first, then I'll go Todd Monken second.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand. Like the offensive line, particularly the guards, are really bad. Um, and then it changes how he can call a game down there because he probably just doesn't trust that they're going to get it done. So we're watching the game and we're like, why are they not running the ball? Like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? I think it played. He's not doing that because of the offensive line. Then you got to bring in different guys, like you said. You bring in Pat Ricard and just immediately you get in the end zone, but you should be able to do that on by second down. You shouldn't have to get to fourth down of being in a red zone and doing something like that. So if I was going to say anything about Todd Monken, it would just be don't. don't go so many chances without making a change. Like the same thing we're talking about John Harbaugh, whoever is the person that's saying who's the person out going in on the field. If you try it on the first down and it don't work, just get Pat Ricard in and do something different. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like face off up front. It is what it is, and I can't even expect so much for Lindenbaum because of who he got on both sides of him.
I feel
It's
so bad
horrible.
for him, man, because they're gonna
I
do
do.
him dirty. Because they're gonna do
I
him
do.
dirty in the contract negotiations. Because how bad them two motherfuckers playing beside him.
Yeah. So for me, it is more hinges on the offensive line, and I'm thinking that that's probably why some of the calls is down there are called. But at the same time, I'm looking at Tom because I'm saying, bro, like we've been you see, you're saying I'm in practice, like we're saying I'm every Sunday, like it ain't working down there. So when you get down there, just change it up. Just bring somebody else in, bring in whatever bodies you need to bring in, run the ball. Like in situations where we need to be running the ball, run the ball. Um,
To your point, not because you're Pat
mhm,
Ricard, they ain't playing the first half at all. I'm like, what the hell is this about? I'm looking like man, we
that
all
doesn't
looking like
make
where
sense.
Ricard at. We thought he was inactive.
It
Every
don't
time
make
you get
sense
to the red zone, he needs to be on the field. If nothing else, to
every time.
block and he can catch in the flat. Because how many touchdowns he had catching in the flat, like leaking out a lot. So
I
yeah,
mean,
if
you even
nothing
think
else, to
about the end of the game. They could even they couldn't even because I'm like, okay, I thought I was like, well, they right, this is good. Let them practice the red zone because even though we
yeah,
kind of had the game won, I'm like, let's see what
nah,
y'all
no,
gonna do.
no, you play to the clock
Nothing,
zero. You play to the
nothing.
clock
I'm just
zero.
like,
Yeah.
what the hell? I was like, man, whatever, man. Like that didn't. What I wanted to happen, it didn't happen. Like
I thought we was going to score too because I started.
that's my
I watched
that's
the
my
rest.
point.
I watched that sequence. That drive. Well, that drive. 'Cause it was turn on down right like by the gate because everybody ready to walk up, but we still trying to see what's going on so we don't miss nothing. I'm like, oh yeah, we're great score, go 27-10. I'm like, the fuck, like, what are we doing?
Yeah. So that made me like
Yeah.
disappointed because I was like, dang,
To
not
me,
that it was like run the score up on them, but it was more or less like this was that
Shannon,
to me that was
you
about
gotta fit.
us.
You gotta finish the game because if we
No.
stop
My
and the
point
Jets
is,
score,
for me, it wasn't about. I was saying that was about us. I felt like that we needed that word. We needed
absolutely,
that red zone. That's why when I seen it,
absolutely.
I was like score. Like I wouldn't care if somebody said, "Oh, they was running it up." No, the Ravens had red zone issues. We had a situation in the red zone right then and there. Score. So that pissed me off in the end because I'm like, y'all didn't do nothing. Like that. That just made me mad because I'm like, we could have scored right there if y'all was really focused on that. I don't think
Even
that was
even
the plan.
and to piggyback on that before we get to our last time, even Aaron Glenn said it. Could have asked him that. He said, "No, you gotta secure the game." He said they did nothing wrong. We gotta stop them. He said, "This is not youth
No.
football. We have a mercy rule."
No, and I didn't even hear
Yeah.
anybody saying that. But
No, I'm saying
my thing was,
they asked him that. I listened to a little bit of the Jet sound bite, so that came
oh
across
yeah,
my feed.
I was just like when I was like I said when I saw that we was in that position, I was like, all right, good, one more shot, work on the red zone offense in real time, and I'm like, what the hell was that? So that was a mess. But to me, it starts with the offensive line. I think that's kind of why he calling it how he is. But bump that. When you get down there, don't wait till you get to third or fourth down to be trying to change it up early. When you see it
I
ain't work the
agree.
first time, just
I agree.
come on now.
I agree. Pat Ricard should be right there beside you. The
Yeah,
minute it
like
don't
that
work, go
shouldn't
ahead.
even
Go ahead.
be.
Go in the game. I mean, go be
Yeah,
right there
like
beside Harbaugh.
we're past the point of keep trying stuff because it's getting cold. Like we got to be able to run the ball, and when you
Absolutely.
get down there, you got to be able to run the ball. So that's disappointing.
We might got to take our
Um,
ass. We might got look. If everything goes according to seeding and how we keep winning, we'll probably whoever we play the first round with that, we'll most likely win that game. That's something crazy. Then we might got to take our ass to Denver. Might got to take our ass to Denver in New England if everything stays like how it is. We might got to take our
depending
ass.
unless
So
we
it's
win a
like
if we win a division, we get a
yeah,
home
even
game.
yeah,
So
that's what I was saying. That's what I said. Everything stayed away. That first weekend we're at home, we're most likely gonna win unless we get the even if we get the Chiefs at the 5 seed, let's just say quote unquote, I think we'll still beat them right now, how they're playing right now, me personally. And then you gotta go to New England or Denver
shit.
and you
Not if we
can't run the
can't score
ball.
in the red zone.
Yeah, yeah, true. I'm just saying that'd probably be the only fifth seed that'll probably have us like, okay, oh wow. Give me anybody else, even Buffalo, we feel like we can stomp them here. This is always we gonna go up there. But if we can't go to New England and in Denver and run the ball on the red zone, like, that might be trouble. But go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah. And so the last topic, and we talked about Todd Monken a lot on this episode. Do you think that our offense has peaked with Todd Monken?
Nah, absolutely not. Only reason because last year when the mob was fully healthy and Bateman was fully healthy, you saw the numbers. You saw the numbers, and we had a decent line. Patrick McCarry, much as I was on about his penalties, he's missed. He's missed. His versatility and all, he's missed. I got to eat my words on it. He's very missed. You've seen the numbers. You've seen it in year one. So like, and then yeah, this year, like I said, Lamar. You seen in the first few games. We was averaging 30, 40, 30, 40. Then Andrew stopped hollering on. Like I said, your quarterback go down. Now your offense down inside your line. Inside Lamar was able to overcome their woes because he was fully healthy. Feel me? And buy time and help with the run game because he can keep the defense on their heels. Now they know his ass ain't going nowhere. Feel me? So I would just say right, due to circumstances, no. Like I said, we're getting to the red zone, so it's like we just ain't finishing. So it ain't like a thing where they just straight kicked in 30, 40 yard field goal like we're nowhere near the red zone. So then I'd be like, all right, maybe, but now, but yeah, nah, because we're still getting there. We just the execution just gotta be a little better. So I'm gonna say no for that.
I didn't know how to answer that because what made me think about that question was I seen somebody say, asked, did the Ravens peak in week one? And it made me think about, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Shannon.
Oh, it just blacked out. That's why I asked.
Yeah,
The game against the Bills made you feel like it was going to be just another high flying type of, offense. And then we struggled. We struggled against the Browns early, and then in the second half of that, it was like it flipped. But after that, we played the Lions, and it just got different. And then you kind of look at it and say, well, we didn't have Lamar for like three of the games, so that changes how you're going to play.
yeah,
Um, I can't say we peaked because I just feel like this season is just so incomplete with the issues offensively, Lamar being hurt. Like you know, whether somebody said today, do you think that we really miss Bateman? I don't know. Like it just looked different. It just looked different.
yeah, because he get that separation and then he helps
Yeah.
open and he helps takes defenders away. So I'm gonna say yeah,
But my big my what really makes me say I don't know is because Lamar's looked frustrated a lot in games. And I don't know if it's something you can see when you're at the game because you're at the game, you can't see somebody's like emotion, like the emotion in his face. When you're watching it on TV,
for sure.
I always say it's just performative anger because he always looks frustrated and mad about something. And it makes me wonder, who you mad at? What you mad about? So what's going to be most important or what will tell the tale about Ted Monken is whether he's back next year. Because sometimes with offensive coordinators, and people say it about head coaches, sometimes you do need a new voice. So I don't know what's going on with Todd Monken. Um, I called it out before we even got to this point about how I feel like he really doesn't adjust his end game. Like he just sticks to what he wants to do a lot of the times when we're playing these games to a fault. So I won't say yes, we've peaked with him, but I can't for sure say no. I just need more time to see like how it plays out because to me, like I said, with that red zone stuff, don't keep pushing the issue. Like we can say, John Harbaugh can take the guards out and put somebody else in. But okay, right now this is what we have. Why did it take to get to fourth down and say bring in Pat Ricard?
I agree with
Like
that.
stuff like that is like, what's going on? Like, so I don't know
His
if part of
situation his
Lamar's
situa
frustration is him or the scheme. Like I don't know what it is.
yeah his situation of awareness and play and formations and play calling settings definitely has to be better because when you get down there, that's Pat Ricard territory all day long. You have to put him out there, especially when you know you got two fat fuckers inside that's struggling. So Pat Ricard helps oversee that a little bit. Because you see, he took Jermaine Johnson for a walk in the park, took his lunch. Derrick
And
Henry
even
walked in
with the run
untouched.
game, though, even with the run game, right? We know the middle is they not good right now. A lot of times we running the ball with Derrick Henry straight up the middle, and I'm like, you're not going to get no push there. Like that's when you might need to have Keaton Mitchell in there because
Yeah, yeah.
he's a different. He can go. It's just a lot. So I
Derrick
won't
Henry
say
can
yes,
bounce
but
it, but him being that big, you want him more probably going downhill.
yeah. But if your guards ain't,
Yeah, they
it's
not
like we're gonna keep
ain't
having it. We're gonna keep having the same conversation about guards that we know are not good.
and
So
then
sometimes
I
it look
guess
like it looked like he just running into a brick wall. Like what the?
for sure. That's sure. Like you right, boy, keep Mitchell in certain zone runs could help. But and like I said, at some point John gotta help the man out, at least try another combination. At least that's that and just see and just see let's at least see. Okay, all right, at least try. Remember how you were saying keep Mitchell ain't playing because of special teams, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that was true, you get where I'm going at with this. See what happened when he got inserted. It helped a lot. So same thing can happen with switching the old lineman a little bit. It could probably give a because now like I say because Fale he can't really move because he's a tackle. Then you go with a leaner guy like Emory Jones. He might can get that get that move and get the block a little quicker. Feel me? Get to the second level quicker. Same with
It won't hurt
Voorhees.
to make it won't hurt to make a change. I mean,
Yeah, because he literally can't
oh,
get out his stance. We took a tackle and said, "Hey, we're gonna play guard." You can't do that with everybody, especially with the bigger bodies. They were talking about today because he's so used to standing in a 2 point. Now he in a 3 point. So now by the time he raised up, the D tackle already didn't got his momentum. So that's why I say go with a more leaner guys. And like I say with Voorhees, he still ain't all the way back from his injury. It looks like he's still like you don't trust his knee. So you slide somebody like Kenyon Green or Ben Cleveland, that helps a lot. That at least get you an extra block or two. Sometimes that's all it takes. That
mm-hmm,
extra one or two tuck block, and then boom, now we taking stuff to the house. Now it looks a little better. Now instead of kicking 3 field goals, we might kick only one. The other two touchdowns. Feel me? And that
mm-hmm,
makes and like I said, instead of a 23-10 game, you have 31-10. So just like I said, but at some point he gonna have to go ahead and rip the band-aid off.
yeah,
Regardless, I don't care what practice looks like. It's practice. Like I say, it's practice. Let me guys look great in practice and get out there Sunday and look like shit. So yeah, at
mm-hmm,
least you have to, at the very least minimum, give it a try.
yeah. I think it's coming.
I know, like I said, because it's going, because I think Steve eventually gonna be like, we'll give him that look of death. Like, come on, we want to break the win a Super Bowl window ain't gonna stay open forever. Like, well, come on now.
Yeah.
Mm, That's it. Everybody, great show, great topic, Shannon. Shannon won't be on with me tomorrow because she getting her hair did tomorrow for Thanksgiving. So, like I said, as of right now, it'll be me and my guy Sala. If you can't make it, then it'll just be me on here with y'all guys doing the preview. I'll try to, extend it as long as I can so we can get a nice little show's worth out of it. But, like I said, it was holiday weekend, so we can hit y'all with a Monday edition. Go ahead, Shannon, do your thing.
Um, I just want to, give a shout out to the Ravens. This has been a interesting year. Started off a way that I don't think any of us as fans expected. To be 1-5 and to now be 6-5 and first place in the division. Got to take my hat off to them. It was time that we was talking about that the guys quit on John Harbaugh. I don't think you quit when you win games like this. Games you probably shouldn't even have won. I mean, we probably shouldn't have beat the Bears. When you look at the Bears and
Yeah,
how well they've been
a lot of
playing,
people had us losing that game. They said, man, Bears
I
going to air
mean,
y'all ass out.
that was a great win.
Yeah.
That was a great win. So I just want to give a shout out to them, because like I said, we rag on them, fans, experts, people that cover the teams, period. But I want to give them some credit when it's due. We still got some work to do. Like I said, the next 3 weeks are really important, particularly to winning a division if that's what we want to do, which is what we're trying to do, because that's the best path to get into the playoffs. But
Yeah, cut out everyone, man. So, we go ahead wrap it up. Y'all have a good night. Like I said, I'll be back on here tomorrow. Me and Salah. And like I said, just cut out on us. Y'all be great. Like I got to say, make sure y'all trade talk Ravens all day, every day with your host, Justin P. Love you guys, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.